Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United 4, Crystal Palace 0. As things stand, as this minute, we are, even if City draw, we'll be top. If City win, they will go top because they'll have a better goal difference. But we have levelled up with them on goal difference. So for all this posturing about Man City playing scintillating attacking football, we've still got the same goal difference as them. Fantastic by Manchester United. In one sentence, if you'd offered me United top of the league, second international break, playing the way we are, not conceding goals, scoring the goals we are, clinically, I'd have bitten your hand off in the summer. It is fantastic. And, you know, Fellaini silences Goldbridge is the title of the video, but he hasn't silenced me totally, but I will give him some credit today. When the team news came out, I was very disappointed that Herrera and Martial weren't playing, despite the fact that we only played 2.5 days ago and it's quite a trek back from Moscow. But I think Fellaini started today, and fair play to him. But the one person I really do want to pat on the back is Mourinho, because the brilliance of that tactic is just unparalleled by any other manager in the Premier League. I think we had a glimpse against Everton of what Crystal Palace were going to do. They've not scored a goal in the Premier League this season. They're coming to the top of the table. A point, they would have felt it was Christmas if they'd got a point. So they're going to come and park the bus. So do you play Herrera and Matic, who were brilliant against CSK Moscow, or do you play Matic and Fellaini? Well, what we did against Everton, we knew they were going to park the bus. So whilst Fellaini was a midfielder, what he did a lot of was actually get in the opposition's box, and our centre-back would step into midfield to join Matic to cover the midfield. So of course, to do that against Crystal Palace was an even better idea, because you get an extra man in the box, Fellaini's good in the air, and Jones or Smalling can step in and cover Fellaini for Matic. And that's what we did, and we got 2 goals from it. So yeah, Herrera and Matic probably are a better midfield for Manchester United, certainly against the better teams, because they're more dynamic, they're better at feeding the attackers. But in a game like this, why ignore the opportunity to put another person in the box who's tall and who's going to cause problems, and actually scored 2 goals today that took the game away from Crystal Palace? So massive applause for Mourinho, and well done to Fellaini, especially, I think the first goal that Young put the cross in for. My gran could have scored that, and she's no longer with us. But the second goal, Rashford's basically shooting, he blasts it into the box, and Fellaini, although he's only a yard out, to get you the split second or half a second or a quarter of a second to get your forehead and put it in was very good. So he does deserve credit for that. Will he be my man of the match? We'll come back to that in a minute. But Tube says I'm going to give Herrera man of the match instead of Fellaini. I ain't giving Herrera man of the match. I'm not necessarily giving it to Fellaini though. But the brilliance of United this season, if I can just say, is the fact that we are scoring goals early. Last season and the season before under Van Gaal, we were the 0-0 at half-time team. So many, you could put bets on it. We were 0-0 at half-time at Old Trafford so many times. We get an early goal today from Mata. And again, Martial, what does Martial need to do to start a game? Personally, I think Martial didn't start the game because of fatigue and a bit of an injury today, and I think Rashford was always going to start. And I love the Martial Rashford thing. Personally, I'd like to see Martial, Rashford and Lukaku start against Liverpool. Flat back 4, midfield 3 with Fellaini, if Pogba's not fit, Herrera, Matic. Let's sit back, give them no space, and have Martial, Lukaku and Rashford as the front 3, and let's kill them on the break. I'd love to see that. But the Martial Rashford thing, yeah, who starts, who's better, but what an option to have. And Rashford was very good today. I think his last couple of league games on the left, I've not really been impressed, and I love Marcus Rashford. But today, Ward had to come out in the second half in a packet of Pampers, because that turn that Rashford did on him at the right back for Crystal Palace, he sent him back to play school. It was a fantastic turn, runs into the box, cuts it back for Mata. So pleased Mata scored. I think he's been so consistent and it's so important for United, but it's a tap-in for someone like Mata. Great skill by Rashford. And justified playing on that left-hand side. Marcus Rashford played very well today after 2 pretty bad games. Really pleased that Lukaku got on. Martial comes on for 20 minutes, Lukaku gets his goal. It's like night following day, isn't it? You know, it's a certainty that when Martial comes on, he's either going to score or get an assist. And Lukaku not scoring would have been really, really weird. So he got the 4th goal from a Martial assist. On Martial, he can't be man of the match today. Of course he can't. He was on a different planet against Moscow in the midweek. But Martial, I really want to say this. Who's your player of the season so far? Because for me, it potentially is Anthony Martial. Because to come off the bench like he does and consistently get goals or assists, it's not easy to do it. And he does it again today. Fantastic player, Martial. Why he doesn't get picked every week, I'm not really too fussed about at the moment. He's doing great things for United, and United are doing great things as well. What did Crystal Palace try to do? They tried to park the bus. That early goal from Mata just changed the game. And we never got nervous watching the game, and I'm sure people at the ground never got nervous because Crystal Palace haven't scored a goal this season. And we're so confident now that even players that have taken a lot of stick over the last couple of years, Smalling and Jones, centre-back partnership, clean sheet, never looked in doubt. Yeah, I know they've got De Gea behind them and Matic in front of them, but Smalling and Jones, clean sheet. I mean, that's a big thing. Ashley Young was fantastic again, but let's not lose sight of the fact that Andros Townsend was twisting him in and out like a 60s disco. He was all over the place defensively, Ashley Young, but another assist for Ashley Young. Which brings me on to the most pertinent point of this match reaction. United, for the last few years, we've all talked about it. When you look at the heat maps and everything like that, the left-hand side is just dead. It's stone cold dead. The right-hand side is like Mallorca in July. It's scorching because that's where everything's going on. Our last 5 Premier League goals have now all come from the left-hand side. United finally have got the balance. When Mark Hughes spoke about, I had a game plan and they got a draw and I knew where United were weak, he didn't. He knew what every other United fan knew, that we always go down the right, and he knew we were weak down the left. But United finally now have got balance. We're not even using the right as much as we used to. We're mostly using the left. You've got Ashley Young there, you've got Rashford and Martial, and our last 5 Premier League goals have all come from the left. And most of them, if not all of them actually, they've all been crosses as well. I mean, granted, 2 of them were along the ground crosses, but 3 of them were air crosses. You know, this is scintillating. This is amazing for Manchester United. But our last 5 Premier League goals have all come from the left. That should not be underestimated, and Ashley Young's a big part of that. We have solved the problem that we've had for the last 4 years, that we are so down the right. It's unbelievable. We are so down the right. We are now balanced and we are doing things down the left. And that is a huge, huge positive for Manchester United to have that, because it suddenly makes the opposition think, whoa, this switch pass to the right all the time, they might go down the left. Well, we will go down the left and we'll score goals down the left. So that is really important to us as well. My man of the match then, wow. De Gea didn't really have anything to do. Smalling and Jones were very good. Valencia was his steady self. Ashley Young, offensively brilliant. Bit of a Jekyll and Hyde performance. Defensively not so good, but I'm not critical of him because he's so good going forward. Matic is a contender. Matic is Carrick reincarnated of a few years ago, and the decade where he was brilliant, because he's just running the game, doing the subtle things, dictating the game so everyone else can do their thing. So Matic is a contender. Fellaini is obviously a contender. What I would say about Fellaini though is Fellaini is a centre defensive midfielder for United at the moment. I don't like that. Fellaini, well, the reason Fellaini is a contender for man of the match today is because he scored 2 goals in the number 10 position, which is where he should play for me. He should be more of an attacker. I don't like him as a midfielder because his defensive side of the game, his speed and his movement to the ball actually isn't that good. When Fellaini goes into the opposition's penalty box, he's a bloody threat, and that's why Fellaini is a contender. The other side of the game, in Southampton last week when he got overrun, I don't like him as a midfielder. I like to see him more offensively. But he's a contender for man of the match, let's be honest. Mkhitaryan, disappointed. I was disappointed by Mkhitaryan again. He's not grabbing the opportunity. It's very easy to say you stick Griezmann into that team and we'll go up a level, and we will do. But why can't we go up that level with Mkhitaryan? He needs to do more in that position. If he can't do it against Crystal Palace at home and some of the teams recently, how can we trust him to do it against the big teams that are coming in October? So disappointed by Mkhitaryan, to be honest. Lukaku, I'm so glad he got the goal, because what he does when he doesn't get the goals probably goes unsung with some people. He's pushing the defence and the opposition back. He's occupying them. He's running tirelessly. He's physical, and he's creating so much space for everybody else. So I wouldn't say Lukaku's man of the match today, but he had a very good game. Mata was brilliant. Really enjoyed the Mata performance. And Rashford was very good as well. Cameo from Martial, can't be man of the match, but was very good. And I think Lingard offered more than Mkhitaryan. So for me, it is the man of the match has to be from Mata, Rashford, Mkhitaryan, or not Mkhitaryan, Rashford, Mata, Matic, or Fellaini. It's got to be one of those 4. I very, very nearly gave it to Marcus Rashford because he's had a little bit of stick lately, and I thought he was fantastic today. Absolutely fantastic. So Rashford got very close. Matic, if someone gives it Matic, I can't argue with you. He did very well. Mata is consistent 7 or 8 out of 10. I'm not going to give him man of the match, but Mata is so consistent. I don't think there is a more consistent player than Juan Mata in Mourinho's career at United. The only player who may come close is Valencia. Mata is ultimately very, very consistent and a massive part of our squad. So it's not Mata. It could be Matic. It was nearly Rashford. But you know what? Just to be nice to him, I'm going to give it him. I'm going to give it this man. I'm going to give it to Fellaini. Because I have given him a lot of stick, but he did get the 2 goals today that took the game away from Crystal Palace. I don't like him as a midfielder. Realistically, I don't really think he can start games as a number 10. But what he should be doing is what he did today, is really being in the opposition's penalty box. That's where he's good. For me, when we've got Pogba back and we're playing the way we need to play, Fellaini should be sat on the bench, and in the last 20 minutes he should be coming on and doing what he did in the opposition's half today. I don't really like him as a midfielder. I think against the better teams he'll get exposed. I think he got exposed against Southampton last week. But as a squad player and in relation to his efforts and where he causes the most damage, which is where we bought him from as Everton and number 10, he needs to be in the opposition's penalty box. He needs to be freed up from the defensive responsibilities. So he gets my man of the match today, and he deserved it. And he is an important part of our squad. I cannot move away from that. But Marcus Rashford pushed him really close. Really, really close. I thought Rashford was fantastic today. But the brilliant thing is, we've got a squad now. You know, people are on about Luke Shaw. How does he get back in the team with Ashley Young? I don't care. I want Luke Shaw to be our future left back, but it's brilliant that we've got competition. I want Herrera to play with Matic when Pogba's not fit, but it's great that we've got competition with Fellaini. I want Martial to play over Rashford, but I love Rashford. But it's great that we've got competition. What happens when Zlatan comes back? What happens when we get the new number 7 in? This is how you become title winners. This is what you get when Mourinho's your manager. This is how we might win the Champions League in the next 3 years. Because United aren't slipping down the mountain now. We've got decent boots on. We've got those grippers on. We're falling nowhere. It's about how high we can go up that mountain now. Very, very excited. Marouane Fellaini has made a contribution. I laugh if it was the real one. He says, put some super glue on that wig, Mark. It will be coming off. It will be coming off. But very, very happy. We go into the international break, top of the league. Match of the day will be enjoyable. Watch along on That's Football starts in 20 minutes. 20 minutes time, we will be doing a watch along for Manchester City versus Chelsea on That's Football YouTube channel. Sit back and enjoy it. For me, a draw is the result we all want, but if I can't have a draw, I think I'd say Chelsea. But the big news today, apart from Fellaini getting man of the match, which is unprecedented, the big news is make sure you subscribe to United Stand, make sure you've got your bell and your notifications on, because we've got fan cams coming up from outside the ground on this channel in the next hour, and they will be coming up. Who knows how many, but it's a new thing for the United Stand. Make sure you watch them all, make sure you like them all, make sure you give the comments and the support they deserve, because it's a fantastic new step. I'm excited. I'm not on them. Can't wait to see them. So what a day, what a result. I'm also doing a FIFA 18 stream on That's Football at 8 o'clock tonight. That'll be fun. But join us on the watch along on That's Football at R5, and make sure you watch the fan cams as they come up. Get your notifications on. We've got loads coming up on the United Stand. I'll speak to you all soon. Don't miss the fan cams. And we hit 140,000 subscribers today. This channel just gets stronger and stronger. Support the fan cams, support the fans who get on. And yeah, can't wait. Can't wait for them. Speak to you all soon. I'm going bold on Fellaini, look. He's going bold. He's got a very high, very high forehead. Speak to you all soon. That's Football for the watch along. That's Football. Type it in. And fan cams up on here.